Now, some of us more experienced preppers, this stuff's going to seem very rudimentary and basic. But judging by the emails and messages I get, I also have a lot of new preppers on the channel who have been concerned they may not have enough when things get ugly. Aside from the basics, yes, of course, food and water, these are some ideas for preppers to add to their stocks, and some, if not all of these, can be picked up at your local dollar store, even if your budget is really tight. Now remember, emergency supplies like food and water can be life-saving, all right? They provide sustenance and aid until help arrives. But these items can assist you as well. So we're going to go through 16 items that you can snag before the excrement begins to impinge the rotary oscillator. Let's check it out. We're going to start from the bottom up. We're going to start with number 16, Pepto, etc., Imodium, anti-diarrhea, stool softener, stuff like that. That's back here, okay? Back here on the back. And that's the kind of stuff that you can get because either way, you're going to want relief from that. If you eat something that isn't necessarily good for you, that Pepto is going to take care of it very, very well. Next up, paper plates and forks and knives and stuff like that. When you don't want to use water, of course, I would get better ones than these. These are just ones I snagged off the dollar store a while back. I have plenty of them put away. Paper cups or plastic cups. This way you don't have to waste your precious water washing things off. You can just throw them out or you dry them out and use them as tinder. Of course, forks, spoons, knives, things like that. Again, no need to wash them off. Everybody gets a set to them. You want to wipe them off with a towel and reuse them, you can. No big deal. All right, next up. Now these three we kind of saw during the pandemic were really important because they disappeared all the time. 13 is going to be paper towels. Those things were not in stock for the longest time. All right, you could not get paper towels. They're very handy. You can use them to clean up again. You don't have to use rags that need to be washed with water. You just throw that stuff out or let it dry and again, use it as tinder for your fires. Toilet paper, not much needs to be said about that. You guys remember the toilet paper chaos we went through. Number 11, bleach. Bleach was really hard to find during the pandemic. Now, we're not saying that, a disastrous world war is going to mean a shortage of bleach. But bleach is something you should have for short term. Remember, don't go nuts with it. Don't buy 50 of them because after 6 to 8 months, it loses its potency. So buy them and rotate them. Use them, Maybe buy 3 and rotate through them, as you use them in your laundry or whatever else. But you always have a couple in stock because it's a handy way and you can even purify water with it. I believe it's, 1/2 a teaspoon to 1 cup of water, and all the way up to a gallon, which is 8 tablespoons. So you can purify water with bleach. So definitely check that out. All right. Number 10, basic hygiene supplies. Extra soap, extra toothbrushes, toothpaste, anything that you're used to using every day. That includes your favorite deodorant. Maybe your favorite cologne. Who knows? Whatever you want to include in that, it gives you some normalcy. Okay? I know that people will think that's kind of a waste of money. Why would I want a deodorant? I'm going to be washing every day with my soap and water. Well, you know what? It makes you feel better. Honestly, it's just a little bit of normalcy, and that's the best thing you can do for yourself when you're going through an emergency or disaster. Number 9, paracord. Paracord has so many uses. You can string things up. You can make an impromptu laundry drying line. You can take the fibers out of this, use it as fire starter. You can put up ridgeline tents with this. You can be between tree to tree. Very, very handy. Even if you're planning on bugging in, I would get a small amount of paracord. Very handy to have. Number 8, flashlights and lanterns. Even candles. I don't have candles out here because I've kind of shied away from candles because I think they're more of a fire hazard. But a good flashlight and a good lantern, like this little O-light here. This one can even be put on a tripod. So if you got a tripod, you can light up a whole room with the thing. You have a low to a high. Okay. So definitely handy things to have. And that way, if that falls over, it's not going to start a fire, whereas a candle might. So that's why I'm a big believer in battery-operated stuff for emergencies, especially got kids or pets. And I got cats that will go over, and the first thing I don't want them to touch, they'll be pawing at and touching, trying to tip it over. All right, number 7, duct tape. Very important. This has a billion uses. I mean, I've even used this to remove like skin tags and stuff. You can use duct tape for almost anything. It's also a fire starter as well. If you fray it enough and strike a ferro rod on it, you'll get a nice fire out of it. Canned heat and dish warmer. Okay, I've got that back here. This is the dollar store brand of the Fancy Heat You can cook over this. You can keep things warm with it. You can even light it and kind of warm up your hands near it. Again, if you're going to use it indoors, be careful. Make sure you have ventilation. This is the Sterno green stuff. If you have a Sterno cooker, it's a very handy thing to have. But it's just handy to have, and it's so cheap. I mean, you can buy these for $1.25 at Dollar Tree. Really, really handy to have. All right, number 5, alcohol and peroxide. Now, peroxide during the pandemic was everywhere. Alcohol was not, because they were using the alcohol supply to make hand sanitizer. Alcohol itself is a darn good hand sanitizer to begin with. It's a good fuel for alcohol stoves. It's a good way to clean up cuts and abrasions and bruises. Very handy to have. Number 4, a first aid kit. Now, you'll notice that big trauma kit on the end there. I'm not saying if you have no training with using a tourniquet or anything to go out and buy something like that. Even a basic first aid kit prepackaged from the dollar store is better than nothing. But I would say go intermediate, get yourself a good first aid kit that's pre-built, and then add things that you want. Do you take a certain kind of asthma medication? Do you take a certain kind of heart pill, or put that in there. So you have that emergency supply put away, even prescription stuff. And don't forget, if you really need prescription stuff, now Jace Medical has the Jace Everyday program where you can order your regular medication, your cholesterol meds, all that, and it will be prescribed to you from a doctor in the United States and sent to you with a prescription legally. They also have a full range of antibiotics. That's a good idea too. It's a little more of an expensive prep, but not a bad idea. My best suggestion would be to get a basic first aid kit, an intermediate one and add to it what you're comfortable with and your skill level. I wouldn't say start getting decompression needles if you've never taken a first aid class, because you're going to kill somebody. So definitely get a first aid kit. Manual can opener. This guy's been with me since probably about 26, 30 years. I don't know, a long time. This guy's been with me a long, long time. Still works great. Now, I know there's some out there that say to get the ones that open along the top edge. You can even do this with this. You just do it that way instead of this way. But it works well. Get yourself a decent can opener and test it. A lot of the ones that I've seen in Walmart, I've even bought a few just to have extras. And I brought it home just to test it to open a can. And the minute you push down on it, this will crack right here because it's not, well, I have a better word for it, a full tang design. It's plastic. So get yourself a good quality can opener. And those can be had on Amazon anywhere. All right, number 2, pain meds. Even your kids' pain meds, children's Tylenol, allergy meds, over-the-counter stuff I'm talking about here. Tylenol, Aleve, whatever you take regularly. Claritin's good for allergies. You may discover an allergy that you never knew you had. If you lived in the city all your life, you've never been around horses. Well, the first time somebody comes by you with a horse and you start sneezing and break out, you're going to want some kind of allergy meds. So definitely get that. Benadryl's a good thing to have too. Number 16, we're going to go back to the beginning. A good sewing kit. Now this is a little tiny one. This is a dollar store one. You're going to be repairing your clothing a lot, okay? You're going to be repairing things. Your local Walmart isn't going to be available to run down and pick up a new shirt or a new pair of pants. So get yourself a decent sewing kit and practice sewing. So number 1, now, lighters and matches. The biggest thing you're going to need to do is keep warm. You're going to need this for if you have a fireplace to start fires, okay? You're going to need it for pretty much anything. And I know, get a ferro rod, learn all the other methods. That's great. But the easiest way to start a fire when you need one, and it's a hurry, is a lighter or a set of matches. And sorry, I forgot about 16 there. But those are the 16 top items that I would say you should start getting before things get ugly. Now, I tend to believe the time is short. We're looking at a lot of weird stuff going down in the world. So I would say head to your dollar store if you're on a limited budget. Maybe spend 20 or 30 bucks on some of this stuff. Of course, it's $1.25 store now. It's not a dollar store anymore. There may be some dollar stores left. I'm not sure. Even at Walmart, this stuff would cost you less than maybe 50 or 60 bucks. Of course, you don't need to go out and buy Olight. You can go to Walmart and pick up whatever, flashlight they have or whatever lantern they have. But definitely start thinking towards getting these kind of items, because these items are the kind of things that when, the disaster happens, you're sitting in your living room with your family and you're like, darn, why didn't I get more of this or that? This is the kind of stuff people forget, especially the medication. If you're a new prepper, I didn't. When I started in '98, I had like no meds. I had what was in my medicine cabinet until I started realizing about the supply chain and just-in-time inventory. And during an emergency, this stuff stops. So definitely get these items, get yourself stocked up. I think time is getting a little short, but that's okay. You got time to get out there. If you watch this video and you head out and you pick up these items, I guarantee you're going to be a better prepared person than without them. And, a big thing, who thinks about paper plates? But then you have an emergency in your town and there's a boil water order, or there's a don't drink the water, or the water just shuts off. Now you don't have to use water to wash your plates. So your stored water is simply for drinking and bathing. Very handy to have. All right, folks, that's the video for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave a thumbs up down below. Don't forget to subscribe if you like the content. Any kind of thumbs up, thumbs down, comment, whatever, really helps us out with the algorithm, and we do appreciate that. For all us prepper channels, it's been kind of slow the last few months. So we enjoy seeing that you guys like the videos. It's not all about money. Sometimes it's about, all right, cool, people are watching my video. I feel like I've taught them something. So definitely leave a like, a thumbs up, whatever, a comment. Don't forget to check out our other links, our Amazon affiliate store down there. Even if there's nothing in the store you want, just click that link, shop as you normally would on Amazon. We do appreciate when you do that. Our freeze-dried wholesalers link. If you watched my video a few days ago, you know that can be made into really yummy food, and you can cook it just like normal, regular food. It's not Mountain House. Good stuff. My link will save you 15% on your order. If you're making a bigger order, that can really save you some money. Below that is our My Patriot Supply link, preparewithiridium.com. When you get to that site, if what's on the main site doesn't appeal to you, there are tons of other preparedness gear on that site. All you have to do is go all the way up to the top, get to that My Patriot Supply logo on the left, and click on it. You'll see the rest of the whole site there. I think people have been missing out because they go there and they see, a 3-month kit for $200 off every month. Whoop-de-doo. There's a ton of other stuff on that site, so definitely click that little graphic on the top there on the left and see what else is there. That's preparewithiridium.com. And of course, our Thrive Life freeze-dried food store. Don't forget to get your orders in. We got some good deals going on this month. Anyway, folks, I thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay stocked up, and stay prepared.